Hey Cancer, you're tuning into your May 2020 X reading. I hope everybody is happy and doing well. I'd like to thank each and every one of you that have liked, subscribed, shared, commented, viewed. You guys are awesome. I love the energy you bring to Soul Embers. It's absolutely beautiful. I love the community we're building here. I'm so grateful to be a part of that community. And I will never tire of telling you just how much I appreciate each and every one of you. So I know it gets repetitive, and I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. I'll just keep on telling you just how awesome you lot are. If you're new to Soul Embers, welcome. My name is Andrea. I hope you stay for the journey. I hope you find whatever it is that you seek here. What else? Everything you need to know about how I go about doing the readings, how energy and timing can be applied, what to do if the message doesn't resonate, the disclaimer which has important information on the content of the channel, and of course my contact details for those of you that want to reach out for a personal reading. It's in the description box, so check it out, Cancer. And feel free to reach out if you wanted a personal reading. Now, what's going on? What brings you here today? What is it about your ex that you want to know, Cancer? What energy are we having trouble healing, releasing, letting go of, embracing? What's going on as we step into May? What energy are you currently in? You know, guys, energy surrounding matters with exes can be quite challenging, as we all know. I hope the guidance is proving to be helpful. What I'm finding through the comments section, that not only the comments that you guys are sharing, but as a collective, a lot of you don't actually want to reconcile. You're just having difficulty letting go, whether it be fear, resentment, anger, frustration, sadness. Depending on your situation, it could differ. So if there's anyone out there that has applied something to their life that has enabled them to successfully release and cut that cord with the ex, please do share it in the comment section. It might prove to be helpful for another viewer. Anyhow, enough of the chit chat. Let's jump into it and let's see what's going on with Cancer. As we step into May, what's going on, Cancer? What energy are you looking at? Worry. Why? There is no need to worry about this. The universe has got you. What has you worried about your ex? Yeah. I'm feeling the Cancers that I'm connecting with are going through a period of reflection. I feel that this separation could potentially have to do with external influences that really, really took a toll on the relationship and made the situation really intense and tense. Words were said that were out of a place of frustration and, you know, pure frustration. And I feel that those words can't be taken back. And maybe you're worried about what you may have said, or maybe you're worried about your ex and how they might be feeling at this time, because I feel this separation has to do with something that is beyond both of you. I'm not taking those because two fell out. And how is your ex feeling? What's going on? Clarity. You are starting to clearly see how powerful you really are. So when I look at these two cards and these two energies, Cancer, what I'm feeling is that this worry that you're experiencing at the moment is, I believe, due to an argument that took place. Words, I keep on hearing words that were said out of pure frustration at not being able to overcome something. And I don't feel that it was directly linked to the union. I feel that there are many external influences that you both are having trouble with dealing with. Things are out of your control at the moment, and you're both in it and at it and finding it really difficult to communicate, and you were butting heads. Your ex may have felt that they weren't able to take control of certain scenarios, and um, you were you, you were making it quite clear that the reason why things were happening the way they were happening is because they weren't taking the driver's seat. They weren't taking control. They weren't setting boundaries, or they weren't taking the lead and executing whatever needed to be done. You felt that they weren't taking action in the way that they should have, and the clock was ticking. I don't know why I'm hearing the clock was ticking. And this came from a space where your person felt that things weren't in their control, that they didn't have the power because everything else around them was overpowering them. The things that were happening outside of your ex were way too, let's just say, they look like a mountain to your ex, and your ex had no idea how on earth they were going to climb these mountains, and they kind of allowed these things to overpower them. And so what had ended up happening is they stuck their head in the sand eventually, where they absolutely did not take any action. I feel that you were trying to communicate that to them, but that may have been suffocating them. So not only did they stop taking action, they also withdrew their energy from you. They went into a cave, let's say, into a safe place, into a place where they felt that they could find ways to rediscover their stability, their own safety. It had to do with earthing their own energy, you know what I mean? Because they felt that they had lost that. As soon as this started to happen, you started to worry. So energetically, what happens, Cancer? When we start to worry, when we start to see our person at the time withdraw their energy and stop taking action, we think they no longer care. So we try to get closer. Meanwhile, what you were actually doing is your energy was pushing them away, and so they went into a cave and they completely shut out. And so now I feel you guys have just lost communication. You're not talking. It kind of fell apart, and you're extremely worried about, like, you're confused, like, what's happening here? How did this happen the way it happened? Like, things weren't as bad as I thought they were. Why have they stopped communicating? Why have they stopped taking action? Why can't they see that, I was just trying to help? Yes, times were tense. Yes, it was, the energy was fully charged. I'm getting fully charged, and then all of a sudden your polarity switched. You both went to a negative polarity, and you started to really, your energies just started to really deflect like a force field is what I'm getting. All right, guys, let's pull out some cards now just to further look into this message that I'm getting for you, Cancer. So now, what we're doing as we walk into May, what I'm feeling is that Spirit wants you to understand that the more you worry about this and the more you try to find ways to, I guess, when we worry, do we want to fix it? Is that what you're experiencing? How can I fix it? Are you worried because you're worried they won't reach out? Whatever the case may be, there is this aspect of control here that needs to be released, because there is no need to worry about this. The universe has got you. I feel the universe is saying, withdraw your energy just like they have and allow that space, because what will happen is you will switch your polarity so that you can energetically start drawing them in so that communication can happen. Whether you want to reconcile or whether you don't want to reconcile, I still feel there's a necessary closure here, right? That's what I'm getting. All right, let's have a look. Let's pull out some cards for you guys. And I'm not going to take those because there's like a billion. Over exaggerate much? Okay. Okay, we are going to take those though. Okay, so what I'm getting here, guys, is that classic, this is an exam, this situation is a classic example of when the going gets tough. There are certain people that finally realize that what they originally went in to invest with and what they truly wanted, as time goes on and as you start to really work through commitment, really work through the challenges that come with collaboration, with cooperation, with compromise, with um, being able to have a discussion, but not to be heard, but to hear. Not to just listen, but to hear what the other person is saying and be able to process it and be able to have the ability to reciprocate in a way that will create balance. What I feel has happened with your ex is that they went into this with an idea that yes, things are not going to be easy. Yes, things can be challenging at times when two different energies come together. But your ex didn't actually realize what it means to work through it. Okay, so when the going got tough, your ex only knew how to process things from their perspective. So they would withdraw their energy. You would talk to them and they would shut down. They would go quiet. They would go into their cave, right? And that gave you absolutely no answers. In fact, it freaking infuriated you. Okay, the thing is that your ex, I'm sorry, came from a good space. It's not that they were malicious. It's not that they tried to manipulate you. It's just that they did not know how to work beside someone. Okay, and then you may have felt at some point that this was deceiving. They felt that they were not able to give you what it was that you were asking for. They felt that whatever they would tell you, it came to the point where they were really faced with certain things that were happening in your union, both inside it, but more importantly, it has to do with the outside and what was happening on the outside, that they felt controlled by, that was filtering through to the relationship and creating a very unstable foundation for you guys. So imagine this, things are not going well at work. They're fighting with their family or their friends for whatever reason. It could have to do with you, with your union. It could not have to do with your union. You know, friends are pulling them to spend more time with them, let's say, or they didn't know how to balance out those types of energies and where to build the boundaries. And so being able to get their point across to you and saying, look, I want to spend more time doing this, or I need to do this, was very difficult. They did not know how to fit you into the life they had already created. And so they finally realized that they've promised you something that they actually don't know how to deliver in. You know, they know how to work solo, they know how to do things that make that and fulfill themselves, but they don't know how to go about doing things that make not only you happy, but also make them happy, and vice versa. And so there was this energy where their focus was on everything outside being the reason as to why things couldn't work. Whoever that message resonates with, it resonates with, right? And if the energies apply differently, guys, just switch them. So eventually they feel like whatever they would have told you was a lie, so they would stop talking and they'd retract their energy. They were very cautious about what they started to discuss with you and what they would say. They went from making plans and making promises to kind of dodging conversation, evading certain conversations, and changing the subject until they made a decision where they actually stood. It had nothing to do with you, Cancer. It had everything to do with them and where they currently stood. Eventually, they were forced into a position where they were in between a rock and a hard place, and it exploded. I truly feel it exploded, and that was when things went kind of fell apart. However, as you go through May, what I'm hearing is that that your ex is going to start clearly seeing that they actually do have the power to work through this with you if they direct and focus their energy as needed, and prioritize it, because it's all about where they put this relationship. And I feel that's a conversation that you've had with them, and you may have given them an ultimatum, and this is where they're currently at. They're analyzing this ultimatum. They're analyzing that last discussion on what you've said. They know that it's in their hands to make a decision. The reason why this is so difficult, you might be thinking to yourself, well, why are they having difficulty making a decision? Because they care. If they didn't care, they wouldn't be sitting there trying to figure out a way to compromise, trying to figure out a way to stand by their word. This is important to them. They've just got to learn how to work through it. And this is what they're going to be doing in the month of May. They're going to slowly start seeing clearly just how powerful they really are. And I actually feel that with this separation, if you choose to let it go and release the energy, they will take this deep sigh of relief, not because you're suffocating them in a bad way, but because the pressure of them having to make a decision is going to energetically lift, and it's going to allow them to think a lot more clearer, right? So as you work through May, you're really going to start to think about what it is that makes you happy about this relationship, or what it was that made you happy about this relationship. You feel very strongly about this person, you know, they made you very, very happy. When you guys were together, you really did feel you were at home, you were fulfilled. You wanted nothing more than you know, you felt at peace, and your heart was filled with gratitude. That's what I'm getting. And you're looking at all that time and energy and effort that you've put into it. You're really trying to analyze it. You're trying to be strong. You're trying to hold back from really approaching this person, and you know, trying to remind them why the relationship was so important. Trying to remind them just you guys connected until, you know, certain things transpired that made everything fall apart. And in this time, as May ticks over, you're going to really get to the point where your emotions are going to get stronger and stronger. You're going to get clearer and clearer about how, in which areas you feel you could have, I guess, come in a different way to help the situation improve. I feel space is going to give you the time to reflect and to think about how, you know, the part that you played in all this, and the part that you can play in all this moving forward to make, you know, to smooth this over, to get over this current, you know, obstacle that you guys are facing. Because I truly feel that the cancers that I'm connecting with do want a reunion, right? All right, let's pull out a couple more cards before we close this reading off, guys. Yeah, I really feel that they are going to take action. I feel that, you know, they see a future with you. They are going to, while you're standing strong, holding back, should you decide to release the worry, Spirit is saying, just release the worry. There is no point in worrying. Just let it go. The universe has got you. They will guide you. Listen to your intuition. As you sit there assessing, analyzing, looking at, you know, the part that you played, how you can come in differently, how you can better yourself, and the type of partner you want to be in a relationship. Not that there's anything wrong with you, but there's always room for improvement for all of us, right? We're not perfect. So as you do that, you will gain more strength, you will gain more confidence, you'll gain more courage, and you will learn to control those outbursts that you may have been feeling towards the end of the relationship. It'll become clearer and clearer what you need to do to maintain that beautiful feeling of home and that beautiful feeling of emotional fulfillment that you felt with that person. And as you work on this aspect of yourself, you release the worry about them, the polarities will change. Their energy will shift. They'll start to see a lot clearer that you are the one that they want to settle down with. You bring a lot of peace to their life. You help them feel grounded. You help them build. You motivate them. They can see that you will care for not only them, but your home, your foundation, your happiness. You're not just going to look out for your best interest. You're not going to give in to everything that they want if it does not serve the relationship as well. If it doesn't serve the relationship, if it's not in the best interest of the union, then you'll be like, no, that's going to affect us in this, and this area. And they see this about you, and this is what they love, and they're very attracted to you, and they definitely want to set up home with you. They're just going through a lot of bit, let's say, of a hard time. They've really been shaken up by the stuff that has transpired, not only with you, but with things outside of the union as well. So I'm going to finish it up there for you, Cancer. As always, please do comment below. I love reading your stories. And as I always say, I'm nosy. And it also helps me better connect with your energy for future readings. Have a fantastic month, and I'll see you for June 2020 X reading. Bye, Cancer.